Hello everyone, happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Danielle here from Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're new here, welcome in. Go ahead and click that live chat button. Feel free to make any requests that you have for your personal healing, at least as much as you feel comfortable sharing in such a big platform. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. It's good to see you again. If you're watching this on the replay, know that you're going to have just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead, check out that description box below for all the regular days and times that I stream here on YouTube. You can also go ahead and click the subscribe button with your notifications on so you don't miss an opportunity. If you are here with me, go ahead and please consider hitting the like button. It super helps me out. We're going to start things off with the first 45 minutes to an hour building a beautiful crystal grid exactly to the request of everyone here. And after that, I will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and send healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. So thank you so much for being here. It's so good to have you. As a reminder, it's Friday, so I will be back again later tonight. We're starting this at 4 p.m. East Coast US time. I'll be back again at 8 p.m. So let's go ahead and say hi and get the party started. Awesome. Okay, great. Good to see you. So who all do we have here? We have Grace, Highland Love. Welcome in, Samantha. Chris, good to see you. Key and or Patty. Lots of love to both of you. I know one of you will watch this later. And yeah, and Vincent also. It's good to see you all. So let's go ahead and start building that grid. I started with a blank slate today because I saw some cool requests coming in. Let's see. I saw some cool requests coming in. So as per usual, we have our copper spiral. Copper helps to get the energy flowing beautifully. It helps to break up any blockages that we happen to have. We also have petrified wood. Petrified wood helps us through transitions. It's especially good for really bittersweet transitions or big transitions. For something that was once a living tree that had to die to turn into stone and be what it is now, it has a lot of wisdom and can help hold that space for us. So let's go ahead and place that here. We also have tree agate. This is a bigger piece of tree agate that I have. It's actually got some spirit quartz or new little baby quartz here. It's a little bit glary, but you can probably see it. There you go. Some new little baby crystals of quartz forming there. Another example of tree agate. These are two examples I have of tree agate. So tree agate is sacred in Ayurveda. It helps to harmonize and clear the energy pathways in the body known as the nadis, N-A-D-I, and it helps to, in general, harmonize and tonify the energy flow in the body. It's considered deeply healing physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So we have lots of specimens there. And we also have some jade, which brings in, and jade comes in a number of different colors. This is nephrite jade particularly. This is a stone of good fortune and blessings on every aspect of your life, from career to family, matters of the heart, matters of community, everything there. So we want to go ahead and bring this into. So I'm going to go ahead and layer them. Let's see. We'll start with the jade, our coil, our petrified wood, and our tree agate. So this is a very different grid than we normally do, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Wonderful. Okay, good stuff. So let's see what else we have as far as requests from everyone. Moving forward, letting go, heart healing, jet for the grid, absolutely. And we've also got, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a few things and walk through as we go. Negative people, negative energy, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so we've definitely got some of that. We've got some red tiger eye, black tourmaline, for Grace's request for letting go, especially with matters of the heart, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some malachite. I have a lot of it. So pretty, isn't it? Yeah, malachite can be great for, and let me just adjust the light. Bear with me just one moment. There we go. That's much better. So malachite helps with moving the heart through difficult transformation and transmutation. Anytime that there's something we're holding onto that's holding us back, especially if it's really pulling on us emotionally, malachite can be really helpful. It's not going to let us get stuck in the mud. It's going to help us to kind of extricate ourselves, as difficult as that might be, but it also, as these beautiful swirls of different shades of green would suggest, the heart chakra being green, it helps to move energy through the heart and continue to help open and heal the heart as we go through it. So let's go ahead and bring in some malachite. It has a reputation of being a challenging stone to work with because of what all it evokes and brings up, but it is a very helpful stone. I'm also going to bring in some rhodonite in a moment for that too. Black tourmaline is exceptionally helpful for keeping negative energy at bay. I've even gone so far as to crush these guys up and sew them into curtains, but they can be great. You can put them in the potted plants. You can put them around your house, anywhere that you feel like negative or not great energy kind of comes off of folks. You can also kind of keep a piece, tucked away on your desk, anything like that. Carry it with you. So that's black tourmaline. It's a very affordable stone. So you can find jewelry made on Etsy. You can find, jewelry made on Etsy. You can find any number of pieces anywhere. You can buy a whole bunch and scatter it around your house. Yeah, the intentions here are just perfect. We have red tiger eye, which is it's really great for being highly protective. So this is everything from like really nasty doings on a spiritual level or on the mundane, all the way to like bullying and rumor spreading and things like that. So I'm actually going to go ahead and move this for now, just so I can get under the light a little better. So yeah, red tiger eye, it's just like gold tiger eye. It was actually formed in the earth closer to iron deposits, giving it this sort of reddish color, but it is a highly, highly protective stone. It's also fantastic for manifesting money in a hurry, so we love it for that. Whether it's bullying, rumor spreading, that kind of thing, like Mean Girl Club kind of stuff, all the way up to really nasty, malevolent spiritual work. This can be really, really helpful. We have rhodonite, which helps with healing the heart, especially a broken heart. This can be for grief as well. So it's the heartache, heartbreak, breakup, loss of your love kind of stone. I have it as crematory jewelry here. It's also great for insecurities, especially if you survived any kind of belittling or that kind of emotional abuse when you were younger or even as an adult. This is also thought to be really great for autoimmune, allergies, and even asthma. And it balances the yin and yang energies within the body. And as far as harmonizing a workplace as well as like against the really negative stuff, there's also carnelian. Carnelian is helpful for everything involving relationships, especially workplaces and things, but also romantic relationships. It's very related to the sacral chakra. It's orange. It has a lot to do with everything from how we relate to others in the world around us, to our romantic relationships, fertility, sexuality, sexual function and dysfunction, as well as colds and allergies too. This is one that's often recommended for colds and allergies. One thing that I often feel inclined to use it for can be how we feel about ourselves too, like our relationship with ourselves, which we don't talk about as much. And this one is actually indicated for that as well. It's also for attracting our spiritually significant soulmate, if that's your intention as well. And jet, by request, is another type of fossilized wood. So this is fossilized wood that takes a long time to turn to stone. This is fossilized wood that fossilizes very quickly through intense heat, usually volcanic activity. It's thought to help us with that sudden, shocking change and to be in our grief. So we don't get so overwhelmed by it or numbed to it that we can't even process it. It helps us to process that. It's also fantastic for calling back lost animals. So we'll put that out there too. So here is jet. Actually, let's put these. Butterfingers here. There we go. Angelite, you got it. Okay. Financial abundance, absolutely. Okay. Okay. Do. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone here. Okay. So let's bring in some citrine and some pyrite to help us with some financial abundance. So citrine helps with, it's considered the stone for calling in financial abundance. It's naturally, it's sort of a yellowy orange like you see here, or even like an orangey brown. It's actually developed from natural amethyst. In the ground, when there's a lot of heat and pressure under the right circumstances, amethyst will turn into citrine. And this citrine definitely helpful for calling in that financial abundance, as well as balancing logic and intuition so that you can make decisions from a very balanced standpoint, not silencing one or the other. Go. We're also going to bring in some pyrite. Fool's gold helps bring in the real gold, and this is also a great stone of not only protection but of calling in intuition. So this can help you to balance being open and receptive with being a little too open. It's also thought to help the memory, the function of the memory, as well as support you through fever and anything having to do with the lungs. So yeah, this is pyrite here, so also known as fool's gold, and it forms in these natural squares, which is so fascinating. So cool. I used to have a piece that was a square of pyrite embedded into matrix or just like surrounding stone. It's really cool. Unakite is exceptional for quitting smoking, but also for anything having to do with women's health. Anything. Whether it's cycles, whether it's fertility, pre or postpartum, menopause, and anything having to do with metabolism, especially if it is connected to the hormones in the body. So definitely bringing that in. The intention helps support women's health and metabolism. Amazonite helps with self-respect and self-care, especially for people who normally think to take care of everyone else but themselves. whether you're in one of the care professions or it's just who you are, this is the stone for you. It's also great for the spine and spinal nerves. I struggle with spinal nerve stuff, and also thought to help with luck in general. So that's Amazonite. Amazonite can be these lighter blue-greens into the deeper greenish bluish with white stripes. It's a beautiful stone. So we'll bring that in. Angelite, as one would suspect from the name, absolutely helps us feel connected with our angels. Hey Lisa, welcome in. The pink one, what is that called again? Rhodonite. I'll actually type it into the... There we go. That's rhodonite. So there's rhodonite and rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite helps with mother-child bonding, inner child healing, channeling, mediumship. Yeah, beautiful stone, but that's pink and white. So they have very similar names and they look very similar. So yeah, this is Angelite. Like I was saying, it definitely brings in our connection to our angels, allowing them to, allowing us to really feel their presence a little more closely. This is also one that helps us to better hear, understand, and intuit any messages they may have, especially in relation to our highest good and our soul's purpose and our path forward. So wonderful for that. So we'll bring in some Angelite. Go. Oh, you're so welcome. Let's see. Spiritual courage, focus, and channeling. Yeah, spiritual courage. I like to think a lot of red jasper along with Larimer. So red jasper is very much known for its grounding. It's very much related with the root chakra and this deep, beautiful grounding red. But it's great for empowerment. It's also great for fighting injustice and bullying. So if you need to stand up for yourself, it's an excellent stone. But it's also emotional support, especially in long haul things like long-term illness, anything like a long work assignment that's being very heavy on your heart, as well as to some extent depression and fertility. But this can also be really helpful for just like spiritual protection and feeling grounded. And in that sort of empowerment and feeling physically grounded, it can allow us to have a deeper connection to spirituality and to our intuition. We need to be grounded in order to do the intuitive and spiritual stuff. It's I like to think of it like tree roots. We want the tree to be tall, it has to have strong roots. If the tree wants to stretch into the heavens, it needs to stretch into the earth first. And Larimer, which can be wonderful for spiritual pioneering and just doing things your own way and having the confidence to do that. This helps to innovate. It helps you to see that you are here to do your own way and not so much comparing to others. At the same time, it can help satiate the ego in that regard. So you're listening to your spiritual guidance and not so much your human ego mind. So this can be really helpful. So I hope that that's supportive for you. Let's see. Where shall we place these? Let's do... We'll put them here and we'll see where they end up. So that's Larimer. And I also really like green kyanite. Green kyanite is helpful for, on a physical level, throat, lungs, and other asthma stone if that's something you need. And I've been bringing those in a lot because so many folks are fighting off illnesses of all varieties right now. But it's also great for balancing the spiritual life with the mundane life, which is so helpful. It's great for wisdom through our intuition. So if we're doing any kind of spiritual learning, can be really, really helpful. And it also helps connect us with plants and animals of nature. So especially if you're a very spiritual person who's recently moved, this can be a great stone. So that's green kyanite. Blue kyanite, iolite, peridot. And I'm definitely skipping around between different requests. Blue kyanite, rutilated iolite. This is rutilated quartz, and I have some other examples of it here. Rutilated quartz, by request, and also, so for Chris and also for Korakar's stepfather, rutilated quartz is thought to help with focus and the mind-body connection. So if you're having a difficult time focusing, this can be a great stone. It's also considered a beautiful gift to anyone who's struggling with cancer. It's thought on a spiritual level to help direct the energy of all of the treatments to exactly where it needs to go. So in that, and it's also thought to help with bringing up energy stores, so that if you're very tired and run down, whether it's from just life or from treatment, medical treatment, it can help you get your energy back a little bit. So let's bring this in with an abundance of love and support for Korakar's stepdad. All the best to him and to everyone who had a request around like focusing the mind. Herkimer helps, and I feel like this can be good for Susan and Greg by request of Korakar. Helps with manifesting in a very spiritual and community-minded way. It's sort of a, I know the secret kind of way of manifesting is like, tell the universe you want a Lamborghini and you deserve it. And like, I'm not going to tell people how to practice their spirituality, far be it from me. But this is more like, if you want to ask the universe for something and ask that it be in alignment with everyone involved's greater good, including your own, but everyone else's too. Asking that you find the right people, places, and things, that this manifestation impact everyone else well. This can be a beautiful stone for that. It helps us to be very grounded in the present moment, which is very, very helpful for that and everything else. It's also great for harmonizing energy. So if you have a place or a situation with people where it just feels like people are having a hard time sort of gelling, as well as metabolism. So it's good for all of those. It's thought to help intuition as well. So let's bring this in, hoping that Greg and Susan for sure get the best possible people and situations that they've asked for. There we go. So that's Herkimer. UTIs. Only one I know of that really recommends like for anything like that is bladder pain is mookite. And of course I always say this, but I just always throw it out here. I'm not the person who's gonna, I don't shame the med game. I use the medications. I use all the things that work for me. And I use crystals, and I do Reiki, and I meditate, and the energy and the intention behind crystals is certainly not going to hurt. This is mookite, which also goes by Australia jasper. It's thought to help definitely with like urinary and bladder type pain, but it's also great for accepting change and making decisions, which if any of you who have watched the tarot readings for all 12 signs, all of them are up now, by the way. That's definitely a theme for a lot of signs this month, so definitely bringing this in. So Mookaite or Australia jasper. And it can look a number of ways, from like this burgundy to yellow to like this mustard color. This is another piece of Mookaite. So yeah. So I wish you all the best with that. Let's see. Sorry, just having a little bit of tea. Okay, let's see. Financial abundance, we got that. Kundalini awakening, let's bring that in. Aragonite with Caribbean blue calcite. Aragonite is a type of calcite that is actually formed from old mollusks, and it has turned into the brownish colors that you see in these specimens. It's very helpful for the root with physical healing and with the Earth Star chakra, which is everything that enables us to show up in our soul's purpose and do the work and move forward in it in a very physical, mundane way. The blue Caribbean calcite is very much the crown and even a little bit the third eye, but the soul star chakra. And that has to do with envisioning our soul's purpose and what's possible, and sort of our spiritual North Star that says, hey, you can go bigger, you can go bigger. So this helps us with both of those energy centers and everything in between, bringing up the balance and harmony between those two very opposite ends can help with the rising of Kundalini energy, which is an energy that's coiled at the base of the spine, can help bring those up more evenly. So this helps with Kundalini awakening, whether it's already happening or if you're working to make it happen. Okay, there we go. Iolite we use in almost every grid. It's helpful for, if your intention is weight loss, it can be very helpful for that, but it's also great for money management, getting better sleep, and most of all, being able to visualize spiritual connection. So if you're doing any kind of psychopomp work or shamanic journeying or visionary meditation, excellent stone. Excellent, excellent stone. So this is Iolite. Where shall we place you? Let's place you here and here. Cool. Blue Kyanite helps us to better understand spiritual guidance, whether it comes in the form of dreams or divination work. And it also helps us with, it's thought to help with neurological function, especially if it's related to mobility and speech. And for being proud of who we fundamentally are. Seeing ourselves as truly just divine and lovable. A beautiful and empowering stone. There we go. Sapphire, hematite. Oh, good, Lisa. Yeah, there's so many things that can be done. There's if you really end up getting into a place where you're looking for help and you've kind of reached the end of what can help, there are, if you have a good skilled herbalist as far as Asian herbs, like an acupuncturist that prescribes Chinese herbs, there are definitely a couple things they can do to help with UTIs, but hopefully you'll be able to get it sorted, because yeah, they can so quickly move up to kidney infections, and it's just no joke. And I hope that you get clarity and resolution as soon as possible, and they're so darn painful, so all the comfort in the world to you. Sapphire has been very helpful with doing the tarot readings for all 12 signs. This is a stone of channeling, of connecting to spirit, of getting the messages, but also being able to describe what we're sensing. So if you struggle with, okay, this is what I'm hearing, what I'm getting, and let me explain it to you in a way that's understandable, sapphire is a great stone. It can be a bit ungrounding. So if you're not familiar with grounding, if you don't have a good practice of it, work with that first, or work with some other really grounding stones at least. So let's see, where do you want to go? Yeah. Let's see. Hematite can very much help with grounding and releasing energy. It helps us to connect with the earth and just allow the energy that is unsettled within our body to go back to the earth. This has a very high iron content, so it's very physically heavy, which is why it sounds so loud. But yeah, it's also it's somewhat brittle. It's about a 5 on the Mohs hardness scale. It's one of those things. If many of you have probably had like the hematite rings that exist, they're very affordable, but they generally don't last long. They crack and fall off and break usually when it's time for them to go, but it's very common for them to do that. They're not really sturdy enough to be worn as a ring. Believe it or not, turquoise is the same hardness as hematite. That's actually why a lot of the turquoise you see in jewelry has been treated, or they may call it stabilized. In fact, it often is stabilized before it makes its way into the healing crystals world. A lot of what we have in the healing crystals world is secondary to the jewelry making practice. So things are prepared for jewelry makers and to be set in jewelry, and then whatever's left over kind of ends up in the healing arts. So things can be dyed or hit with plastic resins. Stabilized turquoise means usually like plastic or resins have been added. So that's one of the many reasons I don't suggest working with a stone directly in water if you're making gem infusions. You can make an indirect infusion. So here we go. Here we have hematite. We'll put that right here with this very ungrounding sapphire. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of good treatments to help prevent, but once you get that infection, it's a lot of times it's a lot of things. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, crystals are always a good complement, whatever route you go. Like, I have no problem with the antibiotics, just if I need them. But if I can avoid them, that's always ideal, and I think everybody can agree on that. But yeah, if we need them, we're glad they're here. Aqua Aura, let's do that. Aqua Aura is very helpful for things like depression and seasonal affective disorder. I struggle with depression, and I found this to be helpful for sure. Again, in combination with antidepressants, because I do what I need to do. This is a great stone, even though it is man-made. This is a stone that was clear quartz, and it was processed using gold to give it this blue hue. It's a beautiful stone, And a lot of folks don't really think much of them because they are altered. And I get that. I didn't work with them at first for that reason, but surprisingly, it's been very helpful for a lot of us here. So I hope that it is helpful for everyone that could use some support in that regard. There we go. What else do we have? Peridot. Peridot can be exceptional for breaking cycles and patterns that aren't in our highest good. It's another one that can help support depression, but it's also where I really think of this is not only does it help us to make better choices and break patterns that are holding us back, it can help us with those relationships that support us in being the best version of ourselves. So really helpful stone there. It also has a lot of connection to like IBS, Crohn's, and all kinds of gut things. There we go. So that's peridot. Oh, good. It sounds like you're really working with some good people. Yeah, you can always add some energy work to whatever you're doing. And that's one of the things I love so much about working with Reiki is like it complements everything and it doesn't contraindicate anything. It's awesome. It's almost like the cherry on top of no matter what kind of Sunday you have. Let's see. Return of... Yeah, let's do return of passion for life, passion for work, passion for everything. Let's bring in some emerald. Emerald helps with that as well as healing skin and tissue if anyone's getting, over surgery or injury or anything like that. It's also got a strong connection to upper respiratory tracts and things like that. Anybody who is struggling with confidence, especially around appearance, this can be a really supportive stone as well. It's a very heart-focused stone, extremely supportive and gentle and loving. So that is emerald, and this is raw emerald. So let's see. Let's do some emerald right behind the sapphire. Oh, I like that. That feels really nice. Definitely been vibing with some emerald lately. Let's see. Wealth acquisition. Let's also do... We got rose quartz and moonstone. Tourmalinated quartz. So we talked about black tourmaline. This is what happens when it forms in such a way that it ends up going through clear quartz as it's forming. We get tourmalinated quartz. And this is exceptional for a number of things, from protection during travel, as is moonstone, but also great for finding new streams of revenue. So whether it's gigs, new jobs, what have you, this is an excellent stone. So definitely can help support Korakar and Vincent on that. Also helps to break up scar tissue, whether it's emotional scar tissue, physical, whatever might be the case for you. It's very much linked to the cardiovascular system for that. So to help break up blockages and things. But it's also superb for breaking up old emotional patterns, especially those that have held on since childhood. So that's tourmalinated quartz. some matching size. There we go. Rose quartz helps us to bring about change in our life as well because it's such a consistent source of unconditional love. It makes it really easy for us to let go of what's not serving because we can sense something better in our immediate field. So there's pretty much no wrong application for rose quartz. Absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and put it under the malachite for that reason. Yeah, the intentions today are beautiful. Cool. And I feel like let's go ahead and, ooh, I have to add moonstone as well. So let's do moonstone. Moonstone is helpful for connection with the cycles and rhythms of nature. It also can help us with divine lessons, accessing wisdom, especially old teachings, connection with the divine feminine, releasing old patterns. This is also one that's helpful of attracting love, but also connecting with lunar cycles. Anytime you might be doing work around full moon, new moon, and we do have a full moon coming up on Sunday. So this can be really helpful. So that's moonstone. And so I feel like let's go ahead and I'm going to get ready to pick a couple of stones for you all to vote on. Basically some stones that I think could really support the intentions you all have made today. And I'm going to take a moment and reflect on those choices, but if there are any other requests, go ahead and make them now. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the middle there where it belongs. Oh, wow, that looks really pretty already. And so give me a moment. I'm going to take a peek at all the stones, take in all of your requests, pick a couple, you'll vote, then we're going to get into the healing. So chat amongst yourselves. Let's see. Hey JS, good to see you. Let's see. In connection, being present, authentic, welcoming joy. I love it. Being present is definitely, like being in the present moment, is definitely Herkimer Diamond, which is right here. the authentic lapis. This is authenticity and also integrity. Truthful, honest, open. Also helps with things like disorganization and even things of the inner ear like vertigo and dizziness. Yeah, definitely great for that. Let's go ahead and put them... Welcoming joy. Let's put some yellow calcite around. Also blue kyanite, helping with loving yourself exactly as you are, which is right here. But yeah, yellow calcite, this sunny, yellow, happy, this bright, lovely stone. This definitely helps us to invite in joy, sit with the experience of joy. It's absolutely lovely. So let's bring that in. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of suggestions. That you all can vote on. Let's see, do I have these here? I do. So the first, and those of you who are new, you're not limited to just one vote. So know that. Hint, hint. So the first one is smoky quartz, which helps not only with protection, but transmutation. This is one that helps us to go deep and fundamentally change the energy. So that's whether we're changing within or just shifting the energy around ourselves as we evolve. It also helps to get energy moving and helps us get the most out of a Reiki session. So that's smoky quartz. It's very protective too. And the other is Dalmatian jasper. This is fantastic for energy clearing. This has black tourmaline running through it, just like tourmalinated quartz. So it helps to bring the breaking up of energy that no longer serves and repelling things that are kind of negative into our energy field, our aura, if you will. And so it helps to clear our energy field in that way. It's also connected with digestive issues, IBS, things like that, but also if you're overly cynical or anytime that you want to bring in optimal cooperation amongst people, this can be a lovely stone. So vote for either smoky quartz or Dalmatian jasper. Go ahead and use the chat. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the stream and consider subscribing, of course, all that good YouTuber stuff. Thank you for the reminders, Korakar. I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is and a little bit of how this works for anyone who's new here, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the healing. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name is Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I'm so glad that you're here today. The style of Reiki that I work with is known as Usui Reiki, and this is named after this particular tradition's founder, and he named Mikao Usui, and he created this system in the early 1920s Japan, when Japan was under Meiji rule, and teaching anything that was even close to a religion, not okay. It could get you killed. Shintoism was the state religion, and it's also the indigenous spirituality of Japan. And in the system of Reiki, we see the understanding of what energy is at its fundamental level, very in alignment with Shintoism. The concept that everything is interconnected, everyone is interconnected, everything has a soul. And within all of that interconnectivity and all of these sacred energies, there are additional forces at play, one of which is this spiritually guided soul energy, or Reiki. It's what it roughly translates to. What I'll essentially be doing is connecting with this energy and directing more of it to you to help support your body, mind, and spirit. Now, this energy is already running through you. It's already a part of you. Your body, mind, and spirit are already working with it all the time to bring you the greatest healing balance that you can achieve moment to moment. And so essentially, I'll just be supporting those functions to do what they do well even better. During the session, you may feel some physical sensations, some emotional shifts, some mental parsing out, even some divine intuition to come through. You may also just have a really relaxing nap, which is amazing. You don't need to do a darn thing. Just go ahead and find the most comfortable position you can find for yourself. You can move around all you need to. You can close your eyes and simply relax and just notice how the Reiki shows up. You can also spend the time any way that feels important to you, whether it's journaling, checking in with a few cards, or music or yoga, whatever feels right to you in this time. I'll essentially be connecting to this energy, directing more of it. As I said, your body, mind, and spirit are already working with this energy. It's mostly like how we're mostly made of water, but we don't really think of it that way. Yet it's so important for every basic function that we have, and we don't have to think about what the water does once it enters our body. Very much like that. You don't have to think about anything during your session. You don't have to focus your mind. You don't have to keep your mind silent. This is your time for you. If you do want to set any intentions for your healing, you can do that at any time. Just bring it to mind and let it go. And as I'm sending, I'll be connecting to that energy. And because we're all connected, it doesn't matter where you are in relation to me in terms of miles or kilometers, and it doesn't matter when you are in terms of time. So you can be watching this in the future, and if you are, hello from the past, you're going to feel this healing just the same way. Just have your intention be to be open to receiving. At the end of the session, which will last 25 minutes, you'll hear my voice come in, and I will invite you to take a deep breath in and come back to your body, slowly come back to the space. If you'd like, you can enjoy the chat will be reopened, so you can ask any questions or share any experiences that you feel inclined to share. And during the session, I will turn the lights down. You'll notice that they move from one color to the next very slowly. There's no flashing or strobing. And as far as the music, if you want to learn more about the musical creator, her information is at the bottom of my description. So with all of that said, thank you again so much for being here. If you want to learn more about me, my live online Reiki certification courses, community Discord, crystal shop, all of that good stuff, it's all listed in the description below. And you can learn about more of it at learnreikiphiladelphia.com. So thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful session. And yeah, let's dive into it. Let's see what won that vote. Aha, so here's the grid. And oh, both won. Gee, that never happens. It always happens. So yeah, let's bring in the Dalmatian Jasper. Help clear our auric field. Let's see. Yeah, let's put this here. Okay. And for the smoky quartz, let's see where we can fit these. I'm going to go ahead and put them around the outside. And I'm going to put some smaller pieces inside the grid as well. This is another, this is smoky quartz. Smoky quartz can be barely smoky or deep smoky. So go ahead and get yourself into a nice, comfortable position, whatever that might look like to you, and know that you can move around all you need. You can lie down or sit up. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Here we go. And I hope that you have a beautiful session. Enjoy, and I will see you in about 25 minutes. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and release. Slowly come back to the space that you're in. Thank you all so much for being here today. It's an honor and a pleasure. If you have any questions or anything to share, I invite you into the chat. I don't know about you, but I feel much better. Thank you to you too, Key. Lots of love to you as well, and I will be back later. I will be back at 8 p.m. East Coast US time, so about 2.5 hours from now. And if you feel like you need to ground, just take another deep breath in and out and take some gentle stretches. You're so welcome, Lisa. Lots of love to you. You're welcome here anytime. I'll also be back Sunday at 8, and the regular schedule is also Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 4 p.m., all East Coast US time. You're so welcome, Vincent, and Highland Love. The kitties are conked out sleeping. And I'm going to go ahead and, with an abundance of gratitude, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, go ahead and shout them out now. I'm going to get ready to wind the stream down, go and relax a little. I have a distance Reiki client before our next community distance Reiki. And of course, you can always learn about readings and distance sessions and classes with me at learnreikiphiladelphia.com. You're welcome, Samantha. And while you're waiting for the next one to come around, check out the Tarot for all 12 signs. There's some really incredible stuff going on this month for everybody. Some great opportunities for us to capitalize on. And if you feel a little extra sleepy, don't be surprised. Sunday is a really powerful full moon. It's the full moon in Leo. So thank you everyone so much. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Take care and bye for now.